Imagine an aircraft with no cockpit, no canopy, and no pilot, screaming across the desert faster than the speed of sound. Now imagine another one that already broke Mach 5 and then landed itself on a runway like it was nothing. No humans on board, no human limits, and America is building a whole fleet of them right now. These are the 8 wildest jet and rocket-powered drones in the United States, ranked. Stay until the end, because number 1 did something no aircraft has done since the 1960s. For 100 years, the limit on how fast a flying machine could go wasn't the engine. It was the fragile human strapped inside it. Pilots black out under G-force. They need oxygen, ejection seats, life support. Hundreds of pounds of gear that exist only to keep a person alive. So America asked a simple question: what if we take the pilot out? No human, no limit. And the machines that answer that question are some of the most extreme aircraft ever built. Let's count them down. Number 8. QF-16. We start with the one that sounds impossible. A real F-16 fighter jet with nobody inside it. The U.S. Air Force takes retired F-16Es and converts them into full-size, pilotless drones called the QF-16. And this isn't a stripped-down shell. The QF-16 retains the aerodynamic profile and flight capabilities of the original fighter, including its supersonic speed and advanced maneuverability. So why turn a perfectly good fighter into a robot? To shoot it down. These drones fly as live targets, so missile crews can practice against something that moves exactly like a real enemy jet, because it is one. And the program just hit a milestone. In December 2025, the Air Force received its final QF-16, securing a full decade of live-fire training. It's the perfect place to start because it proves the core idea. A supersonic fighter doesn't need a human in it anymore. And once you accept that, everything else on this list becomes possible. Number 7. Kratos XQ-58 Valkyrie. Number 7 isn't the fastest on this list, but it might be the most important because it's built to fly alongside your fighters as a robotic wingman. It's called the XQ-58 Valkyrie, built by Kratos. It's powered by a single turbofan engine with high subsonic speed and an operational range of about 3,500 miles. It's designed to serve as a loyal wingman to manned warplanes like the F-35 and the F-22. Here's the genius. It doesn't even need a runway. It launches from a trailer using rocket boosters and comes back down by parachute. But the real weapon is the price tag. A single Valkyrie costs between $4 and $6 million, with Kratos aiming to drive that below $2 million at scale. Compare that to a fighter that costs $80 million or more, and you see the revolution. Build them cheap, build them by the hundred, and never risk a pilot. And it's no longer experimental. In January 2026, the U.S. Marine Corps officially selected the Valkyrie for its Collaborative Combat Aircraft program. Number 6. Shield AI X-Bat. If the Valkyrie is the affordable wingman, number 6 is the AI-piloted dogfighter. It's called the X-Bat, from a company named Shield AI. It's a new fighter-like unmanned combat aircraft, part of a whole new breed of fighter-style drones. And it has a party trick. It's a tail sitter, meaning it takes off and lands vertically, straight up, with no runway needed at all. What sets it apart is the brain. Shield AI's specialty is autonomy. The company is one of 2 vendors providing drone mission autonomy for the Air Force's Collaborative Combat Aircraft program. This isn't a remote control plane. It's designed to think and fight on its own. And again, look at the economics. Shield AI says it's on track to build the X-Bat for around $27 million, dramatically less than a traditional fighter jet. A robot wingman with a fighter's job at a fraction of a fighter's cost. The catch? It's still early. Initial takeoff and landing tests are forecast for the third quarter of 2026, with full flight testing to follow. Number 5. Anduril Fury YFQ-44A. Number 5 is a genuine piece of history because it's the first time in the story of the U.S. Air Force that a drone earned the title fighter. It's the YFQ-44A, nicknamed Fury, built by Anduril. It's one of the first truly autonomous, jet-powered combat drones designed to team with manned fighters like the F-35, the F-22, and the F-15EX. And that designation is a landmark. When the Air Force named the YFQ-42 and the YFQ-44, it marked the first use of the unmanned fighter designation in its history. As the Air Force Chief of Staff put it, it tells the world America is leaning into a new chapter of aerial warfare. And here's the kicker. This thing flies itself. On its first flight on October 31st, 2025, it flew semi-autonomously. No operator with a stick and throttle flying it behind the scenes. Anduril went from a clean sheet design to first flight in 556 days. It's not alone, either. It's locked in a head-to-head fly-off against General Atomics YFQ-42A, which flew first back in August. The Air Force plans to field a fleet of over 1,000 of these collaborative combat aircraft, 1,000 robotic fighters, and this is one of the 2 finalists fighting to build them. Number 4. GQ M163 Coyote. Now we get back to raw, screaming speed, and number 4 has been quietly outrunning fighters for 20 years. It's the GQ-M163 Coyote, built by Northrop Grumman. It's the only supersonic sea-skimming target manufactured in the United States. Its job is brutal. Pretend to be an incoming enemy anti-ship missile so Navy crews can learn to shoot it down. And to do that convincingly, it has to be vicious. It achieves speeds over Mach 2.5 while flying just 15 feet above the surface of the ocean, and it can pull maneuvers above 10 Gs. 15 feet over the waves, at more than 2.5 times the speed of sound. No human could survive piloting that. And it has a second mode that's even nastier. A high diver variant climbs above 50,000 feet, then dives on its target at near hypersonic speed, hitting around Mach 3.8 in the dive. That's faster than almost every crewed fighter in the world, and it's been a workhorse for decades. Northrop Grumman delivered its 200th Coyote in 2025. Number 3. Venice Aerospace. Number 3 isn't just a drone. It's a bet on an entirely new kind of engine that could rewrite high-speed flight. It comes from an American startup called Venus Aerospace. Their weapon is something called a rotating detonation rocket engine, a radically different way of producing thrust that's been theorized for decades but almost never flown. Venus, founded in 2020, conducted a subsonic drone flight in February 2024, reaching Mach 0.9 and proving they could integrate their key technologies. That sounds modest, until you hear the ambition behind it. They've targeted hypersonic drone testing, with operational hypersonic capability aimed at the mid-2020s and the goal of aircraft exceeding Mach 5 by the end of the decade. The dream is a single engine that takes you from a standstill all the way to hypersonic speed. To be clear, those top numbers are the goal, not yet the achievement. But Venus represents something important, the next propulsion revolution, being built in an American garage-to-launchpad story right now. And from here on, the machines stop flying with fighters and start flying past everything. Number 2. Hermeus Quarter Horse. Number 2 is the fastest uncrewed jet flying on planet Earth today, and it just did it days ago. It's called Quarter Horse, built by an American company named Hermeus. It's the world's first high Mach remotely piloted aircraft, roughly the size of an F-16 with a delta wing. And crucially for our list, it's powered by a Pratt & Whitney F-100 engine, the same real fighter engine that powers the F-15 and F-16. Then came the record. On May 26, 2026, Hermeus announced Quarter Horse had flown supersonic, reaching Mach 1.21, cementing it as the world's first privately developed unmanned supersonic jet and the fastest unmanned aircraft flying today. They did it on just the aircraft's third flight, making Hermeus the fastest company in aviation history to go from founding to supersonic. And the ambition climbs from there. A later model aims to exceed Mach 5. That number is still a goal, but the jet flying right now already wears the crown as the fastest pilotless jet on Earth. So how does anything beat that? With a machine that didn't just go faster, it went hypersonic and came home. Number 1. Stratolaunch Talon A2. And number 1. This is the best of the best, because it didn't chase a record. It already did something almost no machine in history has survived. It's the Talon A2 from California-based Stratolaunch. This one is rocket-powered rather than jet. It's dropped from the world's largest aircraft, then fires a reusable rocket engine producing 5,000 pounds of thrust. And what it accomplished rewrote the record books. The Talon A2 exceeded Mach 5, the threshold for hypersonic speed, in 2 Pentagon-backed test flights in December 2024 and March 2025. Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound. But here's the part that drops jaws. The vehicle piloted itself at hypersonic speed and then landed on a runway at Vandenberg Space Force Base. It made history as the first fully autonomous vehicle to reach Mach 5 and live to tell the tale. And it didn't just survive, it flew again. These were the first reusable hypersonic aircraft operations since the X-15 program ended in 1968. Think about that. Hypersonic flight used to mean a one-way trip. You burned up or you crashed. This American machine hit Mach 5, steered itself through the most violent flight regime known to engineering, glided down, and touched its wheels on a runway twice. Then got ready to do it all over again. That is why it's number 1. Not the fastest goal, the most staggering thing actually achieved. A pilotless machine that conquered hypersonic speed and came home in one piece for the first time in over half a century. So there they are, the 8 machines erasing the line between drone and fighter. A real F-16 turned robot, the cheap robotic wingman, the AI tail-sitter, America's first unmanned fighter that flies itself, a sea skimmer at Mach 3.8, a new engine moonshot, the fastest uncrewed jet alive, and a hypersonic vehicle that broke Mach 5 and landed itself. And here's the thought to leave you with. For 50 years, one record has stood like a monument. The SR-71 Blackbird's crude speed record, set back in 1976, untouched by anything with a pilot and a jet engine. Everyone assumed it would stand forever. Now Hermeus has stated its plan outright: break the all-time airspeed record held by the SR-71. And the FAA has already approved up to 7 supersonic flights before the end of 2026, a 50-year-old record set by the most legendary aircraft ever built, about to fall to a machine with no one inside it. Now tell me, is a pilotless jet faster than any fighter the future of air power? Or does the idea of fearless machines ruling the sky unsettle you? And which of these 8 would you most want to see fly? Drop it in the comments. If this blew your mind, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what American engineering does next, because the sky just lost its last human limit. And what comes next is going to move faster than anything we've ever seen.